The people of this country want a fair, clean election. They lose, they accept it. They have accepted it before. If you lose, vacate power. But nobody is going to accept intimidation. Nobody is going to accept people to talk to them as if they're children. We are people called the Gen Zs. If they try to do that, they will walk into State House and they will take the occupant out of there by force. They are prepared to lose 100 to 200,000 lives. They don't care. Once people... my fellow citizens, my fellow Kenyans, my fellow East Africans, and my fellow Africans. It is a rainy day, or it was a rainy night in Nairobi, and now it's a rainy morning in Nairobi. Now, I want to speak about probably the most serious thing I've ever spoken about in my entire speaking and political life. Yesterday, I saw the security system speak. I saw the armed forces commander, joint chief of staffs, and the head of the intelligence speak. What did they say? The head of the army said that they were not going to accept a removal of President Ruto from office in unconstitutional ways. So the question there is, who is the person who wants to remove President Ruto from power in an unconstitutional way? There is nobody who wants to do that. Nobody has any interest in doing that. The people of this country have a legal right to remove everyone from power. It's in the Constitution. We are the sovereign people. We can remove them. We can remove them through a callback. We can remove them through a referendum. We can remove them in very many legal ways. We in Kenya are much, much more mature than those obtuse remarks by the Chief of the General Staff, who seems to have joined the politics of this country. If he wants to speak about politics, he should resign and go and stand for a seat in Kipiripiri, whatever that is, somewhere there in, I don't know where that is, because he looks like a stooge, a person who has been put there to speak, not on his behalf, but on behalf of the president. I have warned about this autocracy that is coming in this country. And I've said it on national TV. And I said that these fellows are going to do everything in their power to stay in power. But what they don't understand is that this generation of Kenyans, these people called the Gen Zs, if they try to do that, they will walk into State House and they will take the occupant out of there by force. They are prepared to lose 100 to 200,000 lives. They don't care. Once people lose their fear, there's nothing you can do. They are doing us a favor, a very big favor, by simply waiting for us to have an election in this country. Have you seen they're not interested in the Electoral Commission? Have you seen they're not interested in all those? They're just going to vote. They're going to count their votes, and then we shall see who will prevail in this country. If there's a clean vote and the Gen Zs are defeated in a political way by the politics of ethnicity, well, that's fine. They are patriots. They are patriots of this country. They are not people who want to destroy a country. Nobody wants to destroy a country. So the Chief of the General Staff cannot give us lectures on patriotism in this country. As I've always said, patriotism is the last refuge of a scoundrel. Now, the head of the intelligence, Mr. Haji, said he said something even worse than the general. That he said that they think our silence is impunity. Well, you know what he's saying? What he's saying is simply that he is now part of the UDA, an arm of the political party of this administration. And that his silence doesn't mean that he's going to keep quiet or he's going to come out with his teeth and he's going to do more abductions so that he can terrorize us. Well, let me tell you, that is going to light the fire of massive demonstrations in this country, and they will occupy his own office. I'm telling him. You people are playing with this country. Don't play with this country. The people of this country want a fair, clean election. They lose, they accept it. They have accepted it before. If you lose, vacate power. But nobody is going to accept intimidation. Nobody is going to accept people to talk to them as if they're children. We are not children. This is our country. We love this country. We're not prepared to spoil this country. But we're not going to allow to be subjects to a monarchy, nor a king, or to someone from Nandi Hills to tell me where the hell I'm going to do in this country. I was part of the liberation struggle of this country. The words of the Lord are precious. The words of the Lord, they are righteous and they are true all the time. Can I get an amen?
Now that the KDF, Mr. Kahariri, has decided to get into foray of politics and he has broken tradition and gone against the provisions of the KDF laws and principles and mannerisms and discipline and sided with the oppressors. I think courageous army men are supposed to remove this fella from power. Nuruddin Haji, we understand him. Muturi said he's the one who abducted his son. So we know he's an abductor. But Kahariri coming in to take sides against the citizens of this country, it's a shame. Shame on you both for trying to lecture us and to tell us what to do with the leaders we elected. Yes, we elected them. But these are people we can recall because the Constitution gives us the power to recall them. So you are nobody to lecture us. We don't recognize your lecture and you mean nothing to us. Because we are the ones who voted. You voted only once if you had the chance to vote. I don't know whether you voted. But as the people, we decide who to remove from power and who not to remove. And if we do not remove by votes, we remove by activism, fighting, complaining, demonstrating, picketing, any means possible to remove oppressive power like William Ruto. You can't tell us not to say or what to say. Who are you to tell us what to say? We want Ruto out. So which part of that statement don't you understand? That we want Ruto out. So we want him out. Not that we are trying to say. We are not saying we want him out now. That's what unatuambia nini?
KDF pia wanaweza ogopa a Kenyan youth who is only armed with a smartphone, internet, and maybe a bottle of water. Mpaka wakaamua tume CDF wao General Hariri akuja kutupea warning ati shouting Ruto must go. Sijui anatufanyia nini. Kenya ni home bana. Kenya ni home. We are the people who will bring change into this country. Yeah? Na kama umetuma general, inamaanisha we have pressed the right button. Inafaa tukanyage tu mafuta, tuongeze mafuta tu kidogo. Na mtaona matokeo ya Ruto must go. Yes. Kama umetuma KDF inamaanisha nini? Inamaanisha tayari washaingiza uoga. Sasa nataka kutisha na wanajeshi. Hapana.